It was snowing, everything was white like Winter Wonderland, and I was just all of a sudden like, this is the coolest thing ever. And it just hit me, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. When I started, I did skijoring, which was fine. I couldn't stop. When you wanted to stop, you basically had to fall down on your butt. And dogs, I found out, do not stop. They still drag you. And so I ended up getting 2 sprint dogs. Sprint is very, very competitive, and I did that for a year too. And I just found myself just not having fun because I really wanted to spend more time on the trail with the dogs and be outside, and that's the majority why I switched. My love of dogs probably started when I was 10. I had a poodle named Gino, who I took to dog obedience for 4-H, and always asked for more dogs, which my mother told me someday when I'm older and have my own place, I can have as many dogs as I want. Where we're at today, we have 20 in our kennel and then 3 house dogs. So most of them are from Swinley. I got some dogs from Galloway's and from Curtis's, and I did get 2 dogs from Jeff King in Alaska, so I'm going to breed those 2 this spring, hopefully when she comes in heat, and start with those lines too. I've been feeding Red Paw for probably 8-9 years, and then this year I started feeding Eureka because it was more balanced with the food, and it makes great baited water.
I'll even continue watering them in the summertime because it teaches them that when I put the baited water in front of them, they need to drink, and they should drink as soon as you put it in front of them. If they don't, they get it taken away. It might take a couple times, and then they figure it out.
Pretty much all the training you need to do, you do in the fall on the 4-wheeler. It's good because it's heavy. You can put the brake on, you can get off and fix things because there's a lot of training where you're getting off and making them G over and stay on the right side of the trail. And because once you get on sled, you just kind of put it on miles and keeping them conditioned. Every time I train, I have to box my dogs and drive. In the fall, it's a half hour to where I train. In the wintertime, it takes almost an hour to go somewhere where we can run the sled. So I don't have the ability just to run outside my door like a lot of people. So I train pretty much every Wednesday, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And on the weekends, we're usually from September to April, we're heading up north somewhere, minimum of 3-hour drive. I always started with smaller females because that's what I could handle, and the big males were almost too much for me. But now I'm deciding that the big males give me a lot more power, so finally getting some more males.
This is our board with the names of our dogs. And so you can just move the magnets around. Might do something like that today. These are 2 neutered boys. Keep them in front of those boys. And then these are all females here.
Usually I run 10 on a sled. I can do 14, but I have to put a lot of weight in the sled, and I'm kind of out of control. I don't weigh much. It's a lifestyle. It's no different than a dairy farmer with his cows, because when you just have a couple, they're just kind of like your pets. When you have, a kennel of 20, that everything focuses around those dogs and your whole lifestyle, and you got to treat them like a herd, and they need to produce for you and make your team. And you can't, if to have a small kennel, you can't just have dogs that aren't doing what you need them to do. You got to be tough. You got to kind of let the little stuff go. The love of the dogs, I think that's the majority of why people do it, is just because of the love of the dogs and what the dogs can do for you. And I just can't imagine it as not part of my life. I did the White Oak, which was in Deer River. That was a 60-mile race. It went real fast this year because my dogs were actually fast, and I ended up second in that race. With the yearling finishing lead, which was pretty cool. And then we did the Bear Grease. I was 5th in that race. That was really fun this year. The trail was perfect, hard packed, and a lot of my dogs loved the hills. They actually got kind of bored on the flat stuff. I never got off the runners once to go up the hills. I stayed on the runners the whole time. This year, coming into the finish line, we came around a corner, there's a big wood pile, and I knew before I was coming around the corner that I was gonna hit it. And I hit it, drug on my side. Snow hooks were bouncing by my face. And of course, the Effenheimers are flying out of my mouth. Dragged for quite a while, was gonna let go, and then I thought, well, what does the rules say about letting go? I didn't want to be disqualified. Finally they kind of slowed down, and I righted the sled and threw the snow hooks on and came to the finish line, and somebody said to me, well, you were up for Miss Congeniality, but you blew that. So, yeah, stuff happens.
Mid-February 2010, we did the Midnight Run up in Marquette, Michigan. This year we came in second. The trails were hard packed and cut off an hour of my time the year before and made the trail seem a lot shorter. And we won the Tom Cooley Award. The vets vote on it to the best cared for team. The vets said that when we came into the finish line, the dogs were still screaming to go and looked like they could go another 40-mile leg. So that meant more to me than any placing I could have gotten that race. It's an award that most mushers really would like to have. The dogs never fail to amaze me to what they can do. I have more doubt in myself than I do in the dogs.
I will refuse to bite the open hand that cares for me. I'll keep my smile when you are down. We'll show each other endless acts of charity, 'cause I feel most at home when you're around. I will defend your right to always be the wiser one, and I'll put my trust in your command. And once we're off, it's one for all and all for one. The pack becomes a team from where you stand. And I will be your guide beneath these northern lights, and you will be my shadow on the snow. Whatever course you choose, whatever trail you're on, I'm ready to roll.